Hey Keith, so let's talk about the Catholics that wear that little fishy hat, the little funny hat. What's that about?
Yeah, that mitre hat that they wear is something that's been passed down for many, many generations, and unfortunately it is a replica, a modern replica of the fish god Dagon. Archaeologists have gone back to Nineveh, which is the modern day Mosul in the Middle East, in Afghanistan, I believe. I don't know if it might be in Syria. But they have unearthed carvings of the people of Nineveh that Jonah was sent to minister and preach to, wearing a fish hat. And it's the head of a fish, and then the tail part of the fish went down all the way to the ground. So it was a large fish hat that they wore. And the Roman Catholic Church, which has allowed the worship of Moloch and Baal and Dagon in, because really they just let anybody do anything they want, they have incorporated that. And the mitre, the hat that the Pope wears, and the cardinals, the big tall hats, if you look at those from the side, it looks like a fish mouth. And if you go back and you compare that to the archaeological findings that the scientists have come up with, that is exactly what that is. It's the head of a fish that's been put on the top of that individual, and the back, the long cloth part that hangs down, would be the equivalent of that tail for that fish. So God sent Jonah to the people who were worshiping a fish god, and he presented that message to the prophet, or from the prophet Jonah, after the fish had spit him up out onto the beach. And so the symbolism is, the fish god just sent a prophet to us. We must listen to what he has to say. And the Bible says all the people of Nineveh listened to that message, and they repented, and they fasted for 3 days and turned away from their idolatry. And God used that pagan fish god, Dagon, for the symbolism that he wanted to have happen. We don't wear those kind of costumes. We don't put things on our head. And we obviously don't want to worship false idols and gods. And unfortunately, we see that all throughout lots of religions. Turbans and special collars, cloaks and hats and all kinds of things that are supposed to make a person holy or more righteous in the eyes of God. They're all pagan. And we know that God looks at the heart. He doesn't look at what you have on your head or a special outfit. But it generates a type of respect and awe in the people, because someone comes out in a very fancy outfit with a special funny looking hat, and they think that that's going to enable that person to say something or to lead them in a special way. And it's not anything that will help you spiritually. In fact, it's a pagan idol that has been allowed into churches.